Hi there, my name is Jason. I am the founder of Distress Loan Advisors. I've been helping people through difficult SBA loan situations since 2009. You can follow me on Twitter at EIDL Advice. There's also a link in the notes below where you can schedule a case evaluation for a one-on-one with me. I also have links to all my YouTube videos and all my articles. Today's topic, another question courtesy of Google. If I don't pay my EIDL loan, will my business be forced to shut down? So in other words, is the SBA going to force my business to close? The short answer is probably not. And so for those of you who have done consults with me, the phrase that I'm going to use may sound familiar to you. There is a difference between what they can do and what they will do. And here's what I mean by that. Per the loan documents, the SBA absolutely, has a lien on any collateral that's not already pledged if your loan was over $25,000. So basically, if you've got a retail store and no other loans, then everything that you've pledged there is their collateral. And so theoretically, they do have the right to pursue that collateral should you default. And for years and years, banks that I worked for, that's exactly what we would do. If somebody defaulted on a loan, we would sue them, we would get a judgment, and then we would execute on that judgment. And basically what a judgment means is the court is just saying, yes, that debt is valid, and you, bank, have the right to try to go collect that money through whatever legal means possible. And typically that would be, the phrase we would use, it was a replevin. So basically we'd go and get our collateral, and usually it would involve sending like the sheriff, and they'd show up and basically say your bank is repossessing your stuff. And so that's how banks typically will keep borrowers in line, because borrowers do not want to get shut down, obviously. Here's the thing about the SBA. So there were approximately 4 million EIDL loans. We've been hearing of, huge numbers of defaults. And so, let's say 25% are either delinquent, behind, or on deferment. So you've got 1 million loans out there. Do you think that the SBA realistically is going to show up to your pizzeria, your yoga studio, your home office where you do your consulting and demand the stuff back? The answer is no. And, part of the reason is there's just too many loans out there and they don't have enough employees to handle that. But beyond that, you have to remember that the SBA is traditionally not a direct lender. So in other words, they don't have the infrastructure like a bank does. So when I worked for a bank, we had all these third-party vendors who were auctioneers whose job it would be to go out, take an inventory of what's there, and then either sell it privately or take it to auction. The SBA doesn't have any of that infrastructure, and they don't have enough people even to coordinate that sort of thing. And so I'll go back to the original question. Is the SBA going to shut your business down if you don't pay them? The short answer is it's unlikely. Even though they have the right to. So that's the thing I was referring to earlier, that could they do it? Yes. Per the documents, they absolutely could do it. Will they do it? Highly unlikely. I've done hundreds and hundreds of EIDL loan consultations. I am yet to speak to a single person who's had their business shut down involuntarily by the SBA. I haven't even had anybody get sued by the SBA. So, if you don't pay them, chances are you can continue to operate your business and they won't do anything to stop you. So, I read a lot on the internet, various forums, and, people kind of freak out about, they're going to show up and seize all your assets. And they could, but, stories of that actually happening are non-existent. And so, I'm looking at you again, Reddit. People are well-meaning, but they really don't know what they're talking about. So while it's not ideal to default on an EIDL loan, if you don't pay them, the chances of them showing up, locking your doors, pulling out your pizza ovens, taking your, spin bikes or whatever, is highly unlikely because of all the reasons that I laid out. So that's it. Thanks for checking in. We'll see you on the next one. Feel free to comment below. And if this information is useful to you and you think it might be useful to someone else, feel free to share. Thanks for checking in.